Hi guys, and welcome to a very short video by Chaotic TV. I had a request to talk about what my armor choices are and why, but I wanted to first show you why I choose the loadouts that I do. Now, my first loadout, and this is the one I use in almost every game that's not very close quarters like King of the Hill or Oddball, and even Regicide I sometimes use. So, for the war games that we have FFA Throwback is a new one, SWAT's a different one, and Flood. All three of those use specialized weapons as well as does Team Slayer Pro. And you can't use all the weapons. With Slayer, that loadout is the one I use in either Infinity or Big Team. So let's go through it and check it out. In my first loadout, I have the Covenant Carbine, which is the weapon I'm currently working on. And I go pretty much by specializations. I was using the DMR, and I felt like now I want to do something different, especially because if I ever play SWAT, I want to be able to use the DMR and still level up this commendation. And if I ever play SWAT after the DMR is used up, I'd have to use the battle rifle and then so on and so forth. So I'm trying to stay away from those until the very end of my playthrough, which I highly doubt I'll ever get to the playtime long enough to use up all of the weapons that are here, which your options are the Covenant Carbine, the Assault Rifle, Battle Rifle, DMR, Storm Rifle, Suppressor, and Light Rifle. And these, the Suppressor, Storm Rifle, and Assault Rifle are all automatic weapons. This is just a prime skin that I got for buying this online. The DMR and Covenant Carbine are your single shot or semi-automatic fire weapons. The Battle Rifle and Light Rifle are triple burst shots. I've been using the Covenant Carbine recently because it's like the DMR. It just shoots hella faster. So you have to click. It's about 7 shots as opposed to the 5 or on the DMR if it's a perfect shot every time. Knock out the shields and then 1 to the head. So that's the weapon I'm using right now. The grenade I use is the plasma. Love stickies. It's your Hail Mary shot after you knock somebody's shields out, or if you're about to die and you just want an after grave kill. I use 3 different things for mobility. The armor ability, tactical package, and support upgrade all let me do things quick. The armor ability that I use is the jetpack because even though the thruster pack is a very short burst of movement, it gets you across the map really quick, the jetpack lets you go vertically and land safely after a long drop. So that's how I get around the map really quickly. Mobility gives you unlimited sprint, so that's why I use it in Dominion, King of the Hill, you know, anything that's objective based. This gets you into the action really quickly, and that's why I use it. Dexterity is very simple. I didn't use it at first. I used the ammo and the sensor, but dexterity lets you reload extremely quickly. So if you have an assault rifle or a suppressor or even the carbine and the DMR, you know, pretty much any weapon, and the pistol especially if you're trying to go for like a secondary weapon challenge, you can just switch out your ammo really quickly. You're never not shooting at something, and it saved my life 1,000 times. So these 3 things basically just let me be very quick and jump around the map. My secondary weapon is the plasma pistol in case I need to knock out somebody's shields from far, and I really don't get too many kills with it because I just switch back with dexterity to my Covenant Carbine and pop them in the face after the plasma pistol expends its EMP charge, and it has to be on cooldown. So I wanted to explain that loadout. My close-up loadout is very similar to it. It's just the assault rifle, and then the plasma pistol, instead of switching to the assault rifle after I shoot somebody, I just beat them over the head if I'm in close range. Again, the plasma grenade goes where you throw it, so it sticks. And the jetpack mobility and dexterity get me into the action again, just very quickly. I have these other ones for various, you know, this one is if I'm defending a hill. I use a regeneration field, and shielding gets me back up to speed, and explosives gives me just a bigger explosion from my grenade if I'm coming in from, if I'm attacking an offensively held hill. Like if the other team is holding the hill, I'll throw in a pulse grenade. It's got a bigger boom because of the explosive support upgrade, and I just basically can take the hill even quicker. This is usually, I have it set to firepower where I can use a second weapon. So I use the assault rifle as my secondary weapon, but I just have a lot, and I still have the dexterity, so I can reload both of them really quickly. If I'm on a long map, I can sometimes change it to the Covenant Carbine and just have 2 long-range weapons if I feel like sniping the whole day. DMR and battle rifle essentially. So those are my loadouts. They're just, you know, very simple. For the Spartan armor, the helmet I use is the Air Assault. I've been using it since Halo 3. I just really like the view of it. I am a female character, and I use what I consider the Chaotic TV colors, which are orange and gray. I have chosen the Torso Recon because it gives you these really cool, just flared looking blade server style jetpacks on the back, and I'm just a big fan of those. When I unlock it, I will use the Recon Surge just because of the different colors. My left shoulder, I like to have a big one on my left shoulder since my character is right-handed, and I like the idea of having a gigantic shield on my left arm protecting my face from fire. And these are other ones that are relatively similar. That's also a huge one. Wonder, I do have the Scout. That's awesome. We'll use that. We'll use that one. My right shoulder, I like to have it a little bit smaller, more contoured, just so that it looks, when I have the stance open up, that I have the gun to my shoulder in the ready position, that it'll look like my left shoulder is for defense and my right shoulder is so I can move the gun around quicker. So I keep the War Master one, which is nice and contoured and relatively small. The forearms I like are the Mark IV from the Spartan suit that Master Chief has. The legs, I go for, she is a chick, so I go for the contoured look. I was going with the also small plated RG63 Counter Prime before I went with this contoured look. With the contoured, she gets that nice round ass plate, I guess you would call it, and everything else is just kind of not looking all that awesome. And since I do stare at her butt the entire time I play, then we're pretty much gonna stick with this contoured looking one. There's this new color scheme right here. If we push in on it, it's got the different striping pattern, so versus this one, which has a stripe basically down the middle of it, and this one has more pinstriping decal type thing on the knee pads and on the sides, which you never ever see this stuff in game. It's completely cosmetic. And the very last part of the Spartan armor is the visor. I choose the legendary because, hey, it's Chaotic TV orange. It is the burnt sienna, dark red, orange color that I go for when I'm making designs and stuff like that. That is a cool, you know, complementary color, blue and orange. Solar looks very close to this legendary, and but it's not quite what I was looking for. Frost looks decent with the great pinstriping I have going on, and Midnight is also just very cool. But the thing about the visor is that whatever visor color you choose, it will show up if you're in a team game. So I choosing these colors, I've kind of put myself in a bit of a pickle because I stand out a lot on every map in solo free-for-all games. So Regicide, I fight using the commendations as a goal setting type thing. I love this game, I want to keep playing it, but I like having objectives. And the commendations just give me something really to shoot for, and these percentages as a kind of marking along thing. I'm really excited to get to level 50 for the new specializations, and I will throw out a different specialization video every time I open up a new one and have perfected it, or at least have a lot of tips and tricks to see what's so different about each one of them. But yeah, that's my loadout and that's my armor setup. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really glad that I'm getting some feedback on the channel, so keep it up. I'll be setting up a chaotic feedback account on my emails. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any other requests or comments, just let me know. I check these things all the time. Enjoy the game. Don't hate the player, just be a better player. Thanks you guys from Chaotic TV. I'm KO, and I'll see you next time.